Hey guys, so it's been about 2 months since I last uploaded, so it's been way longer than I wanted it to be, but I'm back now, and while I've been gone, there's been a lot go on YouTube, especially in terms of the Switch Pro. There's been so many rumors and everything, there's been so much going on, and today I just wanted to talk about my opinions and how I'm feeling on the Switch Pro, because I think I'm the only person on YouTube who hasn't made a video on it yet, so let's just get straight into it. Just quickly, because of how long it's been since I uploaded, my video is probably not going to get recommended to many people at all. So if my video does get recommended to you, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out. But let's just get straight into it. So getting straight into the question, do I think there's going to be a Switch Pro? Yes, but it may not be exactly what we think it's going to be. Let me tell you what I mean. So no matter what I say in this video, there could absolutely, and there is a full chance that there's going to be a full-on new Switch Pro that's nothing like the Switch, and it's like, well, in terms of how powerful it is, like some people are saying it's going to be an absolute powerhouse and it's going to be like a PS5 in a Switch, not that strong like a PS4, but still there's so many things that people are saying. But I feel like when a rumor gets passed around, it gets changed a lot, as I'm sure you guys know, and I feel like it's going to be a Switch Pro, but it's probably not going to be as good as what we think. Remember back in, I think it was 2018 when this happened, when they started selling a new Switch, and it was in a red box instead of a grey box, and it wasn't titled anything different or anything like that. It was literally just in a red box. It was a bit better, like the battery lasted longer, it had a more powerful CPU, but it wasn't titled as anything different, it didn't look any different, and a lot of people just didn't even notice that this was a change they made, because it was such a small change. I feel like that could really be what happens with the Switch Pro. Although it does pain me to say that, because I would really love a full-on new Switch. Like, the borders are way smaller. Like, you see all the thumbnails for all of these YouTube videos, and the Switch looks like something really futuristic. It's got, like, no borders, same Joy-Cons, same sizes, so you can still use your old Joy-Cons, but really powerful, and it's just got all this new technology. I would really love it to be like that, but I really don't think it's that likely. Maybe there will be, and chances are there will be more changes than there were from the Switch and the grey box to the Switch and the red box, but I still don't think it's anything, I don't think it's anything major, is what I'm saying basically. Let's just take into consideration how much Nintendo has let us down this year. Like, last year they brought out Mario 3D All-Stars, which was great, right? It was really fun to me to go back and revisit these old titles, but it was literally 3 lazy, badly emulated ports. Like, it was not great. It just wasn't. And then they brought in 3D World, which was cool, but that's just another port. I know they had Bowser's Fury, which was really impressive, but that wasn't really that big of a deal. Like, it wasn't huge, was it? And it feels like they've been quite lazy with all the ports they've been doing, so I don't want to get myself too excited for E3 or anything, because I feel like we could just be disappointed. But as I said before, we still don't know the circumstances that Nintendo are under right now. So hopefully I'm completely wrong and there is a entirely new Switch and it's insanely good and it's like a PS4, and yeah, but we just don't know. But just quickly, another rumor I really wanted to clear up is about the Switch Pro, and I'm sure you've heard about this as well, about the Switch Pro having games that are exclusively on that and not on the normal Switch. So recently, along with the rumors of the Switch Pro, so many people have said, and they're getting worried about saying like, oh, Breath of the Wild 2 is only going to be on the Switch Pro and it's not going to be on the normal Switch and it won't be released on there, and everyone's freaking out. But if you want my honest opinion, here it is, right? That's very unlikely, I think. Honestly, it's a possibility. It is. Like, it could happen, because let's just take into consideration Breath of the Wild played okay on the Switch, but just think about all them times you'd go into the Korok Forest and your frames would just drop to like 10 FPS and it would just feel just janky and horrible. Like, so obviously it is a possibility, especially if they want to expand on Breath of the Wild for Breath of the Wild 2, as we know it is going to be the same map. So honestly, it is a possibility, but I do think it's unlikely that they would limit such a huge game to one small base of consumers. Like, because so many people who have a Nintendo Switch, right, and they're happy with their Switch, they're not going to go out and spend, you know, however much money more to get a Switch Pro when they already have a Switch that works perfectly fine. Like, a Switch Pro, to play a couple of games and it's just a bit more powerful, it's just not worth it, right? So I really don't think they're going to be limiting that, because then they're going to be limiting the sales of Breath of the Wild 2 massively. Because taking into consideration how many people played Breath of the Wild and how well it sold, there's going to be a lot of people who really want to play Breath of the Wild 2, and it's going to sell greatly, I think. But I think they're really limiting that if they decided, and I think it'd be a really, really bad decision if they limited that to only that Switch Pro. I don't think it's likely at all. It's a possibility, but I really don't think it's going to happen. So moving on, talking about price range, I think it's really hard to talk about how much the Switch Pro is going to be when we really don't know what it's going to be at all. Like, if it's a simple revision, they might not even change the price at all. Like, when they went from the grey box to the red box, there was not even a price difference. It was exactly the same price. But it could be completely different. Maybe if they bring out a new Switch Pro and it's literally titled Nintendo Switch Pro, it's way more powerful, the borders are way smaller, it's noticeably different. You know, I think they could be changing the price, and it could be more expensive between, you know, $50 or £50 up to $100 or £100 more than the original Switch. I don't think they would sell it for much more than that. I don't see it as realistic selling a Nintendo Switch revision or, you know, new model for much more than £50 or £100 more than the original one. I just don't see that happening at all. But again, it's just really hard to tell how much it really could be, considering we really don't know much about it for now. Those are just my opinions, though. Let me know in the comments if you do agree with me, or if you think anything different. Please like and subscribe, because it helps me out so much, and I'll see you in the next one.